What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Gamers Nexus Modmat, which is set here right before me. This was actually sent out to me by Steve over at Gamers Nexus, who has been a friend of mine for the past couple of years. He's been on the TGW podcast back when I was doing that. We've also met at several different trade shows, PAX events, also CES earlier this year. So he's definitely a friend of the channel, but that's not going to get in the way of my review of this product in any way. And to be honest, I really don't have anything bad to say about this product, but when I first heard about it, I saw $100. I was like, okay, that sounds kind of pricey, but once I got it in the mail, I kind of understood because it is really impressive in terms of its quality, and then also just all the information on it really does help you if you are trying to build a PC. You know, whether you're a first-time builder or if you've been doing this for a while and you're actually doing this, using this thing to do mods, it's going to serve quite a few purposes. Now, as I said, it is selling for $100. If you want to pick one up, I'll leave a link down in the description below over to the Gamers Nexus store, which is store.gamersnexus.net, and they have these over there for $100. Or you can actually get one for $120 if you want to have it personalized by Steve himself, and he'll go ahead and autograph one of them. Mine is not autographed, unfortunately. Maybe next time, Steve. Maybe next time. So what all comes in the box? Now, this does come shipped in a cardboard tube, but it actually does flatten out quite easily. Once I took it out, the ends of it were kind of frilled up a little bit, but just grabbing them and kind of just curling it back over the end does a pretty good job of just flattening it out. And of course, if you leave it open all the time, it should flatten out quite well. So it's a very heavy, thick material, and that probably helps with that. So as I said, it does come in the cardboard tube, and included along with that, you do get a instruction manual. So they've even printed out a full instruction manual kind of explaining how you can use this. You can use it a couple of different ways, actually, which I'll go ahead and cover right now. Also in the box, they do include a common ground point, which actually snaps right onto the corner of the map, the corner of the mat over here in the bottom right, which will keep it in place there while you're working. And then you would hook your wrist strap, which also comes with it. It's a blue cable, blue strap. It is elastic, so it could fit on anyone's wrist pretty much. Even my gigantic wrist, it can fit on there perfectly. And then the end of it, you've got your standard banana clip on here, or alligator clip, I should say, not banana clip, your alligator clip. But the alligator clip can come off, revealing the banana plug. That was why I said banana there. Now, the banana plug actually goes into the common ground point. So you plug that into one of the two ports. You can do two if you want to. If you get an extra cable, a wrist strap, you can actually hook up two of these at a time. So if you wanted to be having two people working on the Modmat, you can go ahead and definitely do that and hook them both up to the common ground point. So where does it actually get its grounding from? Well, you would take the included wire and you would go ahead and put it onto a screw on one of the face plates from a grounded outlet somewhere in your household. Now, this is not something that I've found particularly necessary for my use case, unless you're doing really serious things like teardowns of systems and stuff like that. I've never really found the need to actually use a wrist strap, because it's just, I've been building computers for years. I've never used a wrist strap, and I've never lost a component to electrostatic discharge, because there is a fairly minimal risk when you're actually just building a PC. But when you're starting to do things like take apart graphics cards and things like that, then the risk does go up a little bit. But this is definitely here if you want to, be extra safe and be careful, then you can definitely go ahead and use the wrist strap for all of your PC building. So I mentioned there was a couple of different ways you can use this. As you saw, the first one, you can use the common ground point with the banana plug, as I showed you there. Or you could just take the wrist strap and then you can clip it onto a PC that is grounded by being plugged in and powered on. So if you plug in the power supply and then power it on, you can have this attached there so that it's going to ground you that way, which is not as good as using the common ground point. So if you're really worried about, electrostatic discharge, then I would use the banana plug to the common ground point and then hook that up onto one of the outlets somewhere in your house. Now, onto the actual mat itself. As I said, it is really good quality, quite thick rubber, has a very rubbery smell. It kind of smells like walking into the tire section at Pep Boys, if you're familiar with that scent. Very good aroma coming off of the Gamers Nexus Modmat. If I was rating it on just smell alone, it's getting an 11 out of 10, okay? Top rate, mate. Now, on the mat itself, you've got quite a few things on here. At the bottom, we do have a large ruler, which is 42 inches or 107 millimeters, so it's got imperial as well as metric. On the left side here, you can see we have a grid pattern with a graphics card thing kind of printed out on it. So if you wanted to put a PCB down from a graphics card, you can. And then also the different grids are really good for organizing your screws. As you can see, I got a bunch of screws out here right now. That's because I'm actually going to be building a computer later today. I was pulling some parts out of a older system that are going to be transplanting into a new build, so that's why I kind of got everything out right now, and I figured we'd do the video today. Above that, we also have a guide for thermal paste application, which is really nice. It covers all of the most modern processors, and this isn't just some haphazard information that they throw on here, because I know Gamers Nexus has tested different thermal paste application methods in one of their videos, and they've done their own extensive testing with it. So the information on here, I'm assuming, is based on the testing that they have done and determined that these are the best methods to do it, which there is more than one. You could do one or two ways of putting on your thermal paste, and they're laid out for all of the different dies you would use, like Threadripper, Ryzen, Skylake X, or Coffee Lake, all the most modern ones. In the middle here, we've got a big blue logo. It's the Gamers Nexus logo, very nice looking. You also got a Gamers Nexus logo down at the bottom, their regular logo that you usually see on the channel. And then we've got layouts for all of the different M.2 drive types, which is really nice. And if you needed to know which one you've got, you can go ahead and just pop it on there and line it up. I don't have one loose here, but I do have one in the back of this motherboard that I need to take out. But you could just go on there, you could size it up, and then you know which one you're actually using without having to check a manual or anything like that, so that's good to have. Coming over to the right side here, we have a diagram for all of the different types of screws that you would typically see when building a PC, and this is really helpful because I can't tell you how many times I've been building a PC because I still forget sometimes which screw is which because a lot of them look identical. So I'm always having to check the motherboard manual. Now I could just refer to this, so that's really helpful. That's something I definitely use when I'm building up a system, so I could just quickly glance up at it and be like, oh, is that a SSD screw or a motherboard screw? I can't remember. We've also got all the layouts for all your different pins, for your different power connectors that you're going to be using for a PC and what the actual pins do for 24-pin, 8-pin PCI, 6-pin, CPU power, ATX 12-volt, PWM fan header, or Molex connector. So you got layouts for all of that. Also, your SATA ones over here. So tons of really useful information pretty much on the entire mat. There's not really much wasted real estate at all when it comes to the entire thing. So it's a work surface, obviously. You could use the entire thing to work on, but there's just also very useful information here. So on top of the fact that it has really good quality, it is textured, so it will definitely help prevent screws from kind of rolling off because of the texture that it has on here. I wouldn't pick one of these up to use it as a mouse pad. I think some people were saying, can I use it as a mouse pad? I would lean towards not. I mean, you probably could, but it's a very rough textured surface because you want it to be kind of grippy so your screws aren't rolling around and moving on you when you don't want them to be. So I wouldn't recommend picking one of these up to use as a mouse pad. But if you're someone that's building computers or working with electronics, then this is definitely the way to go, because I have used other mod mats in the past, like the Modmat Extreme, and this is way better in terms of its quality, so I think it's totally justifiable at $100. But I think that about covers everything here for the Gamers Nexus mod mat. As I said, if you want a link to where you can pick one up, I'll have one down in the description below. I can give this my full endorsement, as there's really nothing wrong with it as a product whatsoever. It does its job, does it really well, and the quality on it is impeccable. So Gamers Nexus, while it is a YouTube channel after all, they didn't just make some, slap their logo on a t-shirt. I mean, they do have those as well. They've actually produced a very useful product, and not just a useful product, but one of the best in the industry for what it's actually trying to do. So I definitely hope to see them do some more stuff in the future, possibly your own case, Steve. I would love to see you guys, do your own case, because your case reviews are really good. Pretty much cover everything, I think, more thorough than any other channel out there. So I would love to see you guys try to design a case. Let's see that in the future, maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the Gamers Nexus mod mat, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Ta-ra!